Hi, I'm Matt and welcome to the NXCAM Beginner to Expert course. It's called Beginner to Expert because that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to take people from being beginner stage all the way to expert stage. So, a little bit about me. I've been a CAM programmer for the last 10 years working for aerospace and multiple championship winning Formula 1 teams. Now I work as a support engineer for Siemens NX. Okay, enough about me. Let's get into a little bit more about this course. First of all, let's have a quick overview of the parts that we're going to be producing. So there we have it. They are our first parts that we have. So let's take a little bit of a deeper dive and an overview of our first part. So next to me on the screen, you'll be able to see our first part. It's pretty basic, quite simple. There's some simple features on there that we'll do. We'll take a look into feature-based machining, which is going to be really nice. We use that on almost every part that has any kind of holes in it or feature. And I'm going to show you how to use it on the holes on this part. Let's take a look at the second part. So the second part is a very slight iteration of the first. So this is to replicate what a designer would do. So the designer did change a few features. They've thickened it up slightly, so the ribs have been slightly thickened. The hole positions have changed and the diameters have changed a little bit as well. So this is going to be your first project part. So we're going to take all of the learning from the first part and you're going to go away and program this yourself. And then afterwards we'll run through how I would update a part like this. And there's going to be a nice little trick in there too. Okay, on to the third part. So this is an interesting little part. So this part we're going to have to make some geometry. We're going to have to do a bit of face splitting just to give us some really nice lines and faces, because doing this on a 3-axis machine we're going to have to attack it from multiple sides, and that way by splitting up our geometry and our surfacing it's going to enable us to be able to surface this nicely from both sides. With this as well we're also going to have to do fixture design. So I'm going to run you through that process. I'm going to show you how I would design a fixture for a part like this. We're going to design it solely in NX. We're going to manufacture it in NX. So as alongside as this project and this part itself, we'll also have to create a fixture for this part. Okay, onto the fourth part, sorry. So again, this is a iteration of the third part. So you can see the webs are slightly thinner and the holes might be slightly different, but this is for you to do as your own project. And this time, you're going to be using a trick that we're going to learn along the way, so it's not going to be tedious. On to the fifth part. So here you can see it's a bit of a strange looking part, and that is because the sole purpose for this part is it's going to be an introductory to 5-axis machining. So on this part, as you can see, there are certain pockets that go undercut. There's some strange features on there, so we're going to look into all the 5-axis operations that we can. Maybe not all of them, but into the main ones that we use on a daily basis pretty much. We're going to look into some 5-axis roughing cycles, and I'm going to show you some neat tricks to go along with it. So hopefully this part is going to give us a really nice introduction to 5-axis. I'm going to go through all of the tool axes that I can with you, and we're going to demonstrate them. And I'm going to, hopefully you'll have a really good understanding. So I honestly think there'll be a lot to learn on this part itself. And then we're going to move over to the very last part. So this is a complete project for both of us. So we're going to work through this as a project part. Hence, this one will have a different name. So this won't be called part 5 or part 6. This is just going to be an actual part name, as if as if you might find it in some companies. So we're going to try and replicate this as close to reality as possible. So with this part, we're also going to do like fixtures. We're also going to have to bring in some work holding. So I'm going to show you how we would browse catalogs, how you'd find the right tool in for this, find the right work holding, bring all that in. So I'm going to show you, this will be as close to a real world project as possible. There's going to be some really interesting stuff on here as well, because you can see there's a lot of 5-axis potentially. There's a lot of features that are just interesting. This is going to be a really nice project for both of us here. Okay, so let's go over a couple of prerequisites. One would be, I would like you to have a basic understanding of how machining works and manufacturing in general. So ideally you'd come from a maybe apprenticeship background, or you've had some sort of knowledge of on machine training. You know how cutters work, speeds, feeds, depths of cuts, that sort of stuff. You have a basic fundamental understanding of all those things. A second prerequisite would be you'd have to be using a Windows-based PC. A third requisite would be you would have to have NX installed on your PC. Or if you don't have NX installed, you could go to the Siemens website and get the student version. You get a 30-day free trial, I think, from memory. So that would be another way that you could follow along here. Okay, I think that brings us to the end of this intro. And also, one last thing would be, if you or your business need any personalized training or personalized requirements, please don't hesitate to reach out via the email below. Okay, great. Well, I hope you enjoyed that short introduction. And if you are following along on YouTube, then I'm going to be releasing a few lessons a week, hopefully 2 lessons, a minimum of 1, but hopefully 2 lessons a week on YouTube. And if you're watching on the website, all of the content will probably be there already. So enjoy the next lesson, and I'll see you there.